Hi everybody, my name is Rob Varner and I'm here with Choose Wisely, Alabama, and we have a great dinner for y'all tonight. We're gonna make blackened salmon with braised collard greens and mushrooms and a delicious yum yum sauce. And trust me, it is yummy. But we're gonna start on the collard greens first because those are gonna take about 3 to 4 hours to cook. But luckily, it's very simple. It's just a big one pot wonder of deliciousness. These I bought, they were already chopped up, stems removed, and ready to go. But if you wanna go through the trouble and clean your own collard greens, have at it, but I'd rather skip that step. So we're gonna add our collard greens to our pot, just a handful at a time. And don't worry if it seems a little packed, trust me, this is all gonna cook down. We're gonna add some low sodium chicken broth. All right, this is gonna add a nice little flavor to it and help cook down those tough greens. Next up, we have some diced yellow onions. If you want to use other different types of onions, feel free. And we're going to add those right in. Next up, we have sliced portobello mushrooms, little baby bellas actually. And then we have a sugar substitute that we're going to add in. It's just going to add a little bit of sweetness, kind of takes away from the bitterness of the collard greens. And then just to get that little bit of smokiness, because we want that nice flavor to come together. And typically, we'd add like a smoked ham hock or a smoked turkey neck. But once again, we're trying to be a little healthy. We're trying not to add all that sodium in there. So we're just gonna add a little bit of liquid smoke to maximize that flavor. So push everything down a little bit, get everything together, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And now we're gonna turn our heat onto a low. And we're gonna get this up to a simmer and put our lid on it and let it go for about 3 to 4 hours. But if you have an Instapot, feel free to put all this in your Instapot and set your Instapot for 30 minutes and they'll be done in a heartbeat. But if not, that's okay. Just start this. It only takes about 3 to 4 hours until your greens are nice and tender. All right, y'all, while we are waiting on our collard greens, we're gonna make our yum yum sauce. And trust me, it lives up to its name. So it's super easy. There's a little more ingredients than you would think, but trust me, it all comes together deliciously, all right? So we're gonna add our mayo, low-fat mayo, a little bit of low sugar or zero sugar, even better, ketchup. All right, get all that nice deliciousness in there. A little bit of hot sauce, any kind of hot sauce will do. All right, then we're gonna add a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of paprika, some garlic powder, onion powder, and then some sugar substitute, whichever kind you prefer. And then a little bit of apple cider vinegar. All right, so now that we have all that in there, let's just whisk this together and it's gonna become a nice, beautiful light orange color that's gonna go great with our blackened salmon and our braised collard greens. How delicious does that look? All right, let's give it a quick taste because we're probably gonna need to add just a little bit of salt and pepper, but let's just see how much. So let's just add just a touch of salt, don't need much, and then a little bit of pepper. I kind of like a lot of pepper, so I'm gonna add a lot of pepper. All right. And whisk this back together. Give it one more taste, and let's see what we got. It is very yummy, I promise you that. All right, y'all, it's been about 3 hours since we started our collard greens. Let's check and see how they are. Ooh, buddy, these look so good. Let's just taste that broth. Let's just add a little bit of salt and pepper just to kind of accentuate all those flavors, the earthiness of those mushrooms. And y'all, collard greens are not only good in fiber, but they have a lot of vitamin K and a lot of potassium, which are good for bone, heart health, brain health. That is perfect. All right, so now that our greens are ready, we're gonna cover them back up, we're gonna set them aside and get our blackened salmon going, and then it's time to eat. All right, y'all, now that we have our yum yum sauce ready, our collard greens are nice and tender and deliciously braised, we're gonna move on to our salmon. So we have a couple of beautiful Atlantic salmon fillets over here. All right, guys, first thing we're gonna do is give our salmon just a little pat down. And the reason for this is that you wanna get as much moisture off of your fish as possible. So we have our blackening seasoning, and we're just gonna give it a nice little sprinkle. You can do as much or as little as you'd like. I'm gonna kind of go somewhere in the middle with mine. All right. And you can find this seasoning in any grocery store. If you care to make your own, feel free, but there's a lot of really good blackening seasonings out there that you can find. So I have our skillet on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna add our oil to the skillet. All right, and we're just gonna roll that around, evenly coat it, and that's exactly what you wanna see. Just a little bit of smoke coming up and that nice little shimmer right there with the oil. So now that we have our oil in the pan, we're gonna grab our salmon fillets and we're gonna sit them seasoned side down. And remember, always place it down going away from you so you don't get any splatter. All right, so we got that sizzle going. They look great. Now look at that skin. Once we flip it, we're gonna get that skin nice and crispy. So you're not only gonna have a nice seasoned meat, but you're gonna have some nice crispy skin on the bottom as well. But we're gonna let these go for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. These are a little bit on the smaller side, so they're probably gonna need just about 4 minutes, and then we'll come back and flip them over. All right, y'all, so we're about to flip our salmon. And typically, whenever you do cook any type of fish with the skin on, you wanna cook with the skin side down first. But since we're trying to get that nice, beautiful blackened crust, then we kind of did the opposite this time. But it's time to flip. It's been about 4 minutes. So let's flip these and look at that. That is exactly what you're looking for. Absolutely beautiful. Man, I love it. So we're gonna let this go for about 4 more minutes. But the good thing is, even though we didn't start skin side down, this skin with this oil and that crust is gonna be crispy, it's gonna be seasoned, it's gonna be moist, it's gonna be delicious. And once these are done, then we can bring it all together and chow down. All right, y'all, our salmon is perfectly cooked. It is nice and done. Let's check and see that crispy skin I was telling y'all about. Man, oh yeah, that is perfect. All right, so we're gonna turn off our skillet. And it's time to get to plating, y'all. Ooh, boy. All right. Look at that. All right. And so we're gonna serve this family style, but if you wanna plate it individually, feel free. But I just think it looks so good on a platter with everything together. Man. Look at those greens. They're perfectly done. Nice and tender. Let's add our salmon. 1, 2. Oh, look how good that looks, guys. So I'm so excited about this. You have no idea. And then last, but certainly not least, our delicious yum yum sauce. Look at that. It is just, that's gonna be so good. All right. Oh my gosh. My name is Rob Varner. I'm with Choose Wisely, Alabama. You can find this recipe along with so many other delicious, wonderful, easy to make recipes at choosewiselyalabama.com.